Invisible citizenship. Someone may ask, if the kingdom of heaven is here now, why can't we see it? Why isn't there more evidence of it all around us? The answer is very simple: we cannot see the kingdom of heaven because it is invisible. And so are its citizens. In fact, all colonial governments and citizens are invisible. I grew up and have spent most of my life in the Bahamas. I am a Bahamian citizen who was born while the Bahamas was still part of the British Commonwealth. While I was growing up, I never visited England. I never visited Parliament or saw the Queen. But like the rest of my countrymen, I knew they were there. After all, we sang their songs, wore their clothes, observed their laws, learned their history, but we never saw them. So the government was invisible, but it was real. Just look at us today. We speak English, we drive on the left side of the street, and carry on many customs and traditions that are the legacy of our years as part of the British Empire. In the Bahamas, British government was invisible but also influential. In the same way, the fact that the kingdom of heaven is invisible does not mean that it has no impact. Jesus taught this truth about the kingdom more than once. On one occasion he illustrated it this way. What shall I compare the kingdom of God to? It is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into a large amount of flour until it worked all through the dough. Luke 13 verses 20 to 21. That's how yeast works, slowly but inexorably until all the dough feels its influence. Once mixed with the dough, the yeast is invisible, but if you think that means no impact, just try baking bread without it. People have been debating the nature and timing of the coming of the kingdom of heaven for centuries. It was no different in Jesus' day. One day he spoke of the invisibility of the kingdom in response to a question from some of the religious leaders. Once, having been asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, Jesus replied, "The kingdom of God does not come with your careful observation, nor will people say, 'Here it is,' or 'There it is,' because the kingdom of God is within you." Luke 17 verses 20 to 21. The kingdom of God is invisible. We cannot detect it simply by observation. And if the kingdom of God resides within its citizens, this means that all kingdom citizens are invisible also. We bear no physical or outward signs that broadcast to the world, "I'm a kingdom citizen." Our citizenship must become known in other ways.